everybody. Welcome to our session, wherever you're joining us from today. Whether you're in Australia on the Eastern Seaboard, good evening. On the West Coast, still some time to go in the workday, or wherever you're joining us from around the globe, you're very welcome. And it's great to have you here with us for our final webinar in the AI and Career Development series. Before we get underway today, I would just like to acknowledge that the Career Industry Council would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land throughout Australia and their deep connection to the land, sea and community. We'd like to acknowledge that we're hosting this webinar from the lands of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. We'd like to pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are participating with us today in the webinar. Just some quick housekeeping, just to let you know this session is being recorded. If you experience any technical issues over the course of the next hour, just try in the first instance to refresh your screen. If that doesn't work, you can log out and come back in with the link that's been provided. We will have the chat function open today. We look forward to your comments and contribution. As always, just a reminder, if you're putting your comments into the chat, we would ask you just to make sure you select the Everyone tab so that all attendees can see what you're contributing. If you have any questions for Danny at the end of his presentation, just for ease of being able to facilitate those for you, we would ask you please to put those into the Q&A, not into the chat. Just a couple of save the dates coming up. We're obviously continuing with the Seeker International webinar series next month. These sessions are not yet open for registration, but just some advance notice on the 13th of March for our Australian attendees. We have our annual Australian Current and Future Labour Market Needs webinar presented to us by Jobs and Skills Australia. And then on the 26th of March, Dr. Julia Yates from the University of London will be talking to us about career theories in practice. Keep an eye on the Seeker website on the events page. We're just waiting for some final details from both those presenters before we can go live with the registration. As I said, this is the last of our final webinars. We just wanted to say thank you for joining us over the last month. We've had participants from 55 countries over the last 4 webinars. It's been a huge attendance right across the globe, which obviously shows the real interest in AI and its connection with career development and career development practitioners. As I said, we've had huge numbers. We had a total of 3,256 registered attendees over the course of the four webinars. So thank you very much for joining us over the course of the last month, and we very much are looking forward to our final presentation this evening. So it's enough for the advertorials and the housekeeping, and now it gives me an opportunity to welcome Danny to our webinar series this evening. Danny is the lead consultant and head of talent team at Coventry University's London Hub. He's a tech-savvy career development professional working in the UK higher education sector. He's an expert in career branding, marketing and engagement through innovative technologies such as GenAI tools, which we've been listening to over the course of the month, and applications. He's a prominent advocate for the use of GenAI in career development, having conducted workshops on the topic, not only in the UK, but he's also worked with Research Impact Canada. Danny, welcome very much to our session and to our webinar series. I have stopped sharing mine. I'm going to let you share your screen, and welcome.
Thank you very much, David. Just to get some housekeeping done. Can you guys hear me and see me fine? Yeah, is that right?
Definitely
David?
hear you. Yep, we can hear you and we can see you.
Perfect. Well, let's do this. And, normally I take more than an hour. So I only have an hour. So without any further ado, let's get down to this. So let me just share my screen. Just bear with me. Perfect. So let's do this. So I love to present in Canva, guys. If you're aware, this is Canva. I'm not a PowerPoint person. No death by PowerPoints. I love to present in Canva. So yeah, and it's like a Canva, more of a Canva tutorial as well, where I present through Canva. So am I in full screen? Yeah,
you're in full screen.
Play lights, camera, action. Then thank you, everyone. Thank you, David, for having me here today. So we are here to talk about how to use Gen AI tools as a career development professional. And I'll do some live demos here today. And I know you guys have been sitting through and watching these 3 other workshops. So you might be aware in some shape or form where we stand with Gen AI. So I would like to basically experiment with Gen AI live in the room today with a little bit of introduction at the start. And just so you know, this is my morning voice. This is 8 a.m. here in the UK. I'm not a morning person. So as gradually as we go down into the workshop, my voice will open up and you'll see different tones of my voice. So don't be like, what's happening? Is it the same person? Danny, are you AI? But I'm definitely me. So let's do this. So that's me. That's my AI avatar. So as David has introduced, I'm the head of the talent team. Basically, talent team is a fancy name for a career service. Basically, we are a career service for the university, and I'm the head of that career service for the London locations. And as David has mentioned, I've done workshops, sessions, webinars for all these universities in the UK, these bodies, some international work happening soon. And I'm doing some international work in Zurich as well, in Europe. So that's me. So what I'm trying to do basically is that all the things that I know about Gen AI, I want our lovely careers people, careers extraordinaires, as I like to call them. I want the careers extraordinaire to use AI in whatever shape or form to help them save time, which then they can spend with their clients, their family, their friends. And I'm that kind of a person. I'm like, AI will help us save time. And it's not about taking our jobs or something along those lines. So, what is the agenda? We'll talk about what is generative AI. A lot of other experienced people would have talked about generative AI in the last three workshops, but I will quickly talk about it the way I talk about it, because I talk about it in very layman terms. And then we talk about how to prompt, very, very important. How do you actually talk to this thing? And then how do I use it? For the past 12 months, now 14 months, how have I been using it? And how my lovely students and clients have been using it and the future. Where are we heading with AI? Lovely. All the pictures that you see on these slides are made by generative AI. They did not exist before I prompted AI to make those pictures for me. Perfect. So, yeah. So let's go down to this. I have these three lovely guests for you guys. So one is Bella, Elliot, and Thomas. I just don't want to talk about generative AI. So Bella, can you please tell us what generative AI is?
Hi Danny and hello to everyone here today. Why not Danny? I love talking about generative AI. Generative AI is a type of AI system that can create new content, such as text, images, videos, or audio, by learning from existing data.
Hmm.
Even I am an AI-generated avatar, and I am not that confident in public speaking, but I tried my best to come and meet you all today.
Thank you very much, Bella. And I think you are getting better every time I run these slides. So that is generative AI. Let's keep it simple. Who needs this bookish theoretical definitions? Generative AI, it's a system. You go and ask it to make something. Say, can you please make me a picture? Can you make this piece of text for me? And it would do that based on existing data and the training data it has been trained on. And now, large language model, if we just look at the text element of generative AI. So what is that, Elliot?
Hey Danny, hello to everyone. Thanks for inviting me today, so I will briefly explain what LLM is. LLMs are large language models that are trained on huge amounts of text and can predict the next word in a sentence based on the context. Imagine a Google that can talk and chat with you rather than giving you thousands of links. And yes, I used to hate spending hours on going through those links. Don't you too?
Who doesn't, Elliot? Who doesn't? Simple, keep it simple. Large language models. Imagine there is a room with the whole world's information in it, and you send Google that I want the application of this career theory for this clientele or these demographics. Google will go in and bring thousands of links for you, which will be SEO optimized, search engine optimization. That might not be the best thing or best link that you would want, but somebody has optimized that link to be the first link. Sad. And then we have to go through the first two, three pages to find what we want. A lot of time is wasted in that. Imagine the same room and you send a large language model in it. That large language model will take your specifications and will go into through that room and come back with very specific answer. And the best part is you can then talk to that person and say, can you please go back into that room and give me something this? I didn't like that. I didn't like this. You can chat with it. Can you do that with Google? No. So that's the difference between what a Google search engine could do and large language model could do. And then one of these examples is the OG, the original ChatGPT. So I have this person called Thomas. He has been working with ChatGPT for the past 12 months with me. So over to you, Thomas.
Thanks, Danny. Hello, everyone. I am an experienced AI careers consultant who has been working with Bella and Elliot over the last couple of weeks on how to embed ChatGPT in my practice. So I will explain what it is. ChatGPT is a free chatbot developed by OpenAI that uses a generative AI model to generate answers to almost any question it is asked.
Almost.
And yes, there was a learning curve for me, but if I can embed AI into my career's interventions, you all can do that surely. Can they, Danny?
Yes, definitely can. And thank you very much. And Thomas, come on, I never agree with that point of yours when you talk about a learning curve. There is no learning curve in using GenAI. All of you guys are using the chat. You know how to type, right? If anyone knows how to type and how to Google, you can use generative AI. There is no learning curve of using it. Yes. Can you take it to the next level? That's what this session is all about. So thank you very much, Bella, Elliot, and Thomas. And just, from a lovely audience, these are generative AI avatars as well. So could be made on a lot of different softwares. I love to drop software names so that people can go and just start using it. So these videos are made on DID Studio. It's an AI studio, DID. You could get that. And this is what I want my careers extraordinaires to know. This is the level of generative AI know-how and knowledge behind the system is required. Because if you look at it, a lot of people go down into the nitty gritties and say, Danny, this is evil technology. Do you know what goes into this? How is it run? I'm not going to use it. But I'm like, do you use smartphones? They're like, yes. Do you use Google? They said, yes. Do you use Wikipedia and all? Yeah, at times. Do you know how it works? No. But then they say, oh, we have seen those National Geographic documentaries on how it's made. But I'm like, I've seen a documentary on how rockets are made. But am I a rocket scientist? No. But do I need to be a rocket scientist? No. We are the practitioners. So if we use any technology, we need to know the practitioner end and definition, practitioner end's definition of those things. But we still use those tools even without knowing how they are made. So never go down into this nitty-gritties and this argument with people, even in your career services or with clients, like, oh, I'm not going to use this technology because I do not know how it's run. Because we do a lot of things, we are involved in a lot of technological things which we do not exactly know how it works. Not all of the people in here are engineers or software engineers, neither am I. But if still somebody wants to read the detail of large language model, there's a link on the site called ChatGPT Guide for Non-Technicals. Go and read that 18-page report. If I were you, I would put it in ChatGPT and just sort of summarize it. But that's generative AI for you. But this is what you need to know. If you are from career services or institutions where you lead the agenda, this is how you lead it and say, this is what we need to know. Simple as that. And let's just go. The timeline, I won't go in much detail, happened and started November 2022. And since then, it has taken over the world. It has beaten one of the, I'll ask this and see if I get some answers from the room. Leave it in the chat if you want to. Do you know that the previous record for reaching 100 million users, which application had that? Obviously, that feat, which application achieved that feat? 100 million users in 5 days. Wasn't 2 days. 2 days was GPT 3.5. But which other online platform had access to 100 millions in 5 days? So leave some answers in the chat. I'll give it like a few seconds. What do you think? Which online platform or thingy? I open up the chat. You already get one good answer. So kudos to Lucia Condos. Lovely. TikTok, exactly. TikTok is the answer, Luisa. So TikTok was that platform. So imagine it beat TikTok to get 100 million users in 2 days. And a lot of people were still saying, it's a fad, and it's a fad, it will go away. But I'm like, Microsoft has invested into this. February 23, they were the biggest investors. They launched the Bing AI, now called the Copilot. And since then, GPT-4 launched, the best large language model in the world, browsing access. People said it can't access the internet. I'm like, not anymore. And then MS Copilot, and you know where we are with MS Copilot. Slowly but surely, your organizations are starting to pay for it, and you're getting those accesses within your browsers and your MS365 applications. So when it's part of MS365, basically that means it's everywhere, it's ubiquitous. And since September 23, everyone is on board, whether it's Facebook, it's Google, everyone has their own versions of these generative AI tools. So it's everywhere. So what's our options as careers people? So what are our options now? It's everywhere. What should we do? Please don't be these two things. Don't be an AI utopian. Say that, oh, are there any tools, Danny, which can just manage everything for me and I can just sit and have fun? No, not right now. And don't be the AI doom and gloomer. I hope so. Nobody in this room is now an AI doom and gloomer. I did some sessions 8 months ago. Oh yes, the room was full of AI doom and gloomers. So, but today, hopefully, I don't expect anyone to be that. But don't be that. There are no AI careers overlord taking over the whole careers profession. It's not going to happen anytime soon. So what's our option? So when you go and lead the agenda in your market in the lovely Australia and the whole world, be an AI realist. Use it, see the clear upsides, and see the clear downsides. And that's how you use and lead the agenda of generative AI wherever you are. Perfect. And the reason we need it, and I can talk about it from a careers professional perspective as well as a career service perspective in an institution. We have these problems, responsibilities. At times we are so stressed. We are doing a lot of very basic resources, basic stuff like FAQs, making documents, strategic documents, developing basic resources from scratch. Basically, coming up with handbooks and all those things. A lot of administrative stuff, which takes a lot of time. AI can help you with it. Scale. At times, I want Danny to be in front of every single student. We have like 8,000-9,000 students in those London campuses. I wish Danny could go and talk to every single one of them, but that cannot happen. So AI, in some shape or form, Danny's knowledge and intrinsic, I would say, expertise could go to students 24/7 if I use the AI, generative AI tools right. So we have an issue of scale. There are so many people who needs our services, but at times we're not able to do that. And then specialism, my favorite one, guys. In my previous to previous job, I once had to do a workshop for midwifery students, like health midwifery, and I was proper business careers consultant, business school careers consultant. I'm like, okay. And at that time, it took me 2 weeks to come up with the right pitch deck and get myself acquainted with midwifery. But now with this, I'm like, if a student is just walking, I can just make him come and talk to me and discuss his career's issues with me, even if I do not know which background they are from, because then live in front of the student, I could acquaint myself very, very quickly around what the student is. For example, if now I get a midwifery student, I can use AI in front of them there and then and see which skills are required to be on a midwifery, how to write a midwifery cover letter. We have the NHS here, which is the National Health Service in the UK. What kind of cover letters does NHS like? Previous samples and all those things very, very quickly in front of them. But that doesn't make us less, I would say, less of an expert. Students love it because they're like, wow, this person is thinking on the feet rather than saying, giving me very generic answers. That's what a lot of us usually do. At times, if you're not prepared for something, we will try to go down the generic route, or you'll say, we'll get back to you. I'll send you some resources later on. Too slow in today's world. Do what the students do, what the clientele does. They are, fast and thinking on their feet. They make things happen. We need to kind of mimic that or take that to the next level. So we have these problems. Hence, AI can definitely help us. Now, I want to see where you guys are with AI. So please, if you could scan the QR or just go to menti.com, use the code 6762141. I'll give you a minute to win it. Minute to win it. So I love Canva because you can have these lovely clocks on it. So please scan the QR or just go to menti.com and use the code 6762141. Let's do this. At times, usually people just do it in 40 seconds, but I'll try to give it the whole minute. You never know. For you guys, most of you, it'll be the end of the day. For me, it's the start of the day. Not an ideal time to do workshops, but hopefully I'm keeping you up and you are keeping me up by using the chat functions and all those things. So you guys are active, all 104 of you guys. So this Poll will self-destruct in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's see the result, guys. So let's do this. Curtains down, please. Lovely. Pro users, first of all, high five to all the pro users. Teach me, please, as well, because I do consider myself to be a pro user, but I'm an evolving pro user. So you don't know why you're here, which is lovely. But yeah, please help me. Chip in through chat and say, Danny, maybe you do this or do that. So aware, use it often. High five. 46% aware have used it a few times. Lovely. From today onwards, we want you to go into the red zone, please, which is the aware, use it often, and slowly but surely go to the yellow. I would say the chunk of people who are pro users, and then aware have not used. No problem. I think I have something for everyone today. So thank you very much for doing this poll. This is where you guys stand, and let's go ahead. Perfect. So we are spoiled for choice. People who use it often, and the pro users, you can confirm that, right? We have a billion tools. I know I'm saying a bit too much, but so many tools out there. Every single time a new large language model or Gen AI tool is coming up, the problem with that is people who start to use it, they get so spoiled for choice and they don't have the answer to the question, which ones are the best ones? Which ones should we be using? That's where people like the pro user or me at times come and say, these are the ones I have been using every single day. Maybe start with those tools. This is what this slide is. Me, as an kind of an evolving expert on generative AI practitioners use, these are three things that I use a lot too. So one is ChatGPT, the EOG, which I still believe is one of the best ones out there because of the sheer amount of customization it allows us to have. So 3.5 is free. GPT-4, the world's best large language model, still is behind a paywall. And it allows custom instructions. That's what I'm talking about, to make it highly customized to our needs. And then obviously Bing AI, which is now Copilot. The best large language model in the world is for free in GPT-4. So if you want to use the world's best large language model for free, not to pay ChatGPT, you could go in MS Copilot and use that for free. And one thing that I love about Copilot, if you use it in the Edge browser, it has a sidebar, and I'll show you that. It's so proper. And then I love Claude, just because it allows to upload files for free. So ChatGPT allows file uploads, but Claude, that's behind a paywall. But with Claude 2, it allows you to have that file upload access for free. So we need that. So let's just quickly, people who haven't used it, but I think everyone has, but I'll still quickly go to the platforms. This is how ChatGPT looks like. You chat in here, you already know that. I use the paid version because I use it a lot. The thing I'm talking about here is around a lot of people who are just starting to use it and they have questions around data privacy and all those things. You could stop ChatGPT to hold your data to train itself. So if you toggle off this button called chat history and training, then anything that you do stays within your account, that too for 30 days, and get deleted. So if you're worried about data and all, I keep it on because I want the world to benefit from what I search and the way I talk to it. But you can stop it. So if you ever have concerns, you could do that. And then I will come back to the custom instructions later on. But this is ChatGPT for you guys. Still the best one out there. And I use the dark version of it because, yeah, it doesn't mean I'm dark, but it's like just the dark version. White is a bit too bright for me. So let's go back. And then we have the lovely Copilot. And if you go and check the Copilot, Copilot is within Edge, but you could use Copilot within any browser now. So if you want to use the best large language model out there, click more creative to use GPT-4. And you can just use it here. You could talk to it and blah, blah. And you already would know this. So hello, I am Danny, and I am running a workshop for these lovely careers extraordinaires from Australia. Say hello. This is the first time it took my accent. Oh, good. I'm getting better.
Hello, Danny and the careers extraordinaires from Australia. I am Copilot, an AI companion that can help you with various tasks and topics. I am happy to
know.
chat with you and answer your questions. What kind of workshop are you running?
I'm not gonna tell you. It's a secret, Copilot. So there you go. You could use it here, and these are some of the things, functions on AI. But the best part is, and I guess I am sharing my whole screen. So if you go and use it in this lovely, I would say, the Edge browser, it has this thing on the right side. Do you see this? Now, Copilot can be used as a sidebar. Now that changes everything, and I'll show you some examples later on as to what you could do. You could open up any page that you were looking at, browsing through anything, then you can talk to Copilot to evaluate that page. Next level stuff. So, but we will come back to that when I'll show you some lovely examples. So this is where we are with this. And let's just go. And then we have the lovely Claude, which is one of my favorite tools nowadays. Welcome back. Very simple. No fuss, no frills. Just says welcome back and chat with it. And then obviously it allows you to upload files, which is amazing for free. It has a paid version, but for equity reasons, I always say never pay for these tools if you can use a lot of these functions for free. But I have a very extensive use of AI only. That's why I pay for ChatGPT more. Somebody has to pay for it to see like what is it really worth it. So I'm taking one for the team, guys. Not that expensive though anyway. But there you go. These are 3 tools from Mr. Danny. That this is what he used. How to prompt, very important. So Aria.
Thanks for inviting me, Danny. Trust me, it's been months since ChatGPT is out, and people have not moved on from their Googling lingo. ChatGPT is a very advanced large language model. Chat with it, like you would with a person, have a dialogue, do role plays, etc. Please don't just ask, what is this? What is that? How to do this? These are just very basic questions.
Exactly. So we need to drop our Googling lingo and learn how to talk to it. And I have made a strategy which is in no shape or form the exhaustive or the best strategy in the world, but it has been working for me, my clients, my students, my staff, and all nearly 4,000 plus professionals I've worked with so far on generative AI. So it kind of works. It's called the clear strategy. And this is what this is. You'll get the slides. I hopefully you get the slides. I will send these things to our lovely David, and he can pass it on if he wishes to. So this is the strategy. I would go down and read the whole thing. By now you would have guessed I'm not that kind of person. So now I'm not going to do slide reading, but I'm going to quickly name them, and then we'll do a live example. So the biggest problem I see, people coming to me and say, Danny, the answers are very generic. Answers are very basic. How do we get highly customized answers, for our needs? I'm like, did you inform AI who you are, what your circumstances are, any contextual or background info? They're like, no, I should be doing that. I'm like, yes. So my prompt strategy starts with that. It needs to know you, who you really are. So then limit it, give it a question, a specific task to do. Even if you are doing a larger task, maybe break it down and say, I'm tasked to do that. One of the things I need to do is this. Can you help me with this? A lot of people just put the main task in there, and then it goes like, oh, gives you a very broad, basic, generic answer. You're like, I already knew that. What's the point? But please limit it to what you exactly want. Then elaborate. I love this one because a lot of people would come back and say, Danny, it has my context. It has the question I want. But Danny, am I cheating? Is this cheating? Because whatever it would give me, it's not my ideas. It's not mine. How do I make it mine? I'm like, that's what you do with elaborate. Whenever you give it a task, try to feed in whatever is in your mind around that task. And I'm pretty much sure humans are amazing. If you want it to do something for you, you would say, normally I would do this in this task. I would cover this in this task. These are some of my gibberish or my ideas or my thoughts and my obviously line of thought around this idea. So what do you think? So you give your mind ideas and all the intrinsic expertise that we all pride ourselves on. We give that in elaborate. and that makes us ours. And then give it all the assumptions. The funny part is, whenever you have a conversation with me or anyone or any human being, we have assumptions about people, right? Assumptions about situations, about people, about context. AI doesn't have that. You need to give it that. So any task, for example, if the task involves making something for the dean, you need to tell it's for the deans. If it's for academics, for academics, for students, for students. Give it all the assumptions that you already have in your mind, but AI doesn't. So please feed it assumptions. Only then you could have a good conversation with it. Don't we introduce ourselves when we go and talk to people? And only then they'll be like, okay, Danny is that Danny from UK doing that. If I don't introduce myself, you'll be like, who is this guy? So you can't assume. And so that's why you need information to make assumptions about where I come from and what I do. So do feed it those things and then redirect. You could ask it to recheck its own work, could check for biases. So in addition to the main task, it can do some sort of a self-evaluation as well. That's called redirect. Let's do a live example. So imagine you want to write a workshop, presentation, whatever, for students, okay? But this is how you would do this. But I won't take this example. I just want the room to help me. And let's just do this. Coolio. And I'm loving the chat, all the people in the chat. Well done. Let's do this on ChatGPT. So, and I would do it on the free version again. So please, people in the chat, help me. I'm writing a workshop right now. So I am a careers professional. Sorry, my typos. Professional in the world of, for example, higher education. And the best part is it doesn't, if you even write wrong spelling, it still understands. It's so nice. Humans are, at times they're like, oh, Danny, there's so many spelling mistakes. I'm like, but AI is so nice. It doesn't ever say that to me. I'm kidding. I'm a careers professional in the world of higher education. I'll keep it very, very basic. You could write a whole paragraph about who you are, where you are from. You won awards. I'm part of Sika and all of these other bodies. See, hopefully you pronounce it Sika, not Kika, but let me know. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you could do a lot of contextual information, but I'm just keeping it simple for the sake of saving time. So I am tasked to write a workshop outline on the topic of, I need your help, guys. In the chat, please tell me what should be the topic of the workshop. Quickly, fastest fingers first. Or anyone in the chat? Networking, where? 2 for networking. I'll take networking. Oh, whoa, lovely. Effective use of ChatGPT. That's what. Am I not doing that? No, thank you, Meredith. I think let's go for networking. It's not that I just wanna. I'm just picking it any sample because there are 2 of the people who said networking. So, but I'll try to mix it up. So, role of networking in the field of. Quickly tell me the field. Role of networking in which sector or field? Quickly, we'll mix it up. I'll take construction. Let's say construction. Of in the field of construction. Construction, and I'll just call it building, whatever. And again, that's my limited knowledge around construction and building. Workshop in the field of that. Let's do that. Let's keep it simple. And now the elaborate part. This is where you need to help me, all of you. Talk to write a workshop on the topic of role of networking in the field of construction and building. In addition to what you would suggest for this workshop, I would normally add things like, go on, tell me. So what within networking? What topic should be there? We have ideas around networking. So give me some ideas around networking. Labor market information around labor market, LMI information, how to have an elevator pitch, role of gender in networking. Coolio, you guys are amazing. See, we should all work together. So I'll keep it to that. And yeah, and that kindly include these as well. I'm so nice to it. Kindly include these as well. So let's keep it to that. Thank you very much. And then we need the assumptions. This workshop will be it'll be online or in person, guys? Online or in person? I'll go for online. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Online. And will last for how many minutes? How many minutes? I'll take that. 45, 45. Let's go for 45. 45 minutes for the students of BSc construction management. I've just came up with that degree. No, I've seen that degree before. So construction management, lovely. All these students are from, I would say, let's do something. Let's do widening participation. So it was from widening participation background. Maybe have a paragraph in there around issues of networking when you are from that background. So yeah, it's a really good topic now. It's shaping up really nicely. I wish I could take all these things and then redirect. Can you please give me a worksheet I can use to do an activity with the students in the class, I mean online e-class as well. Let's do this. I press enter. So within seconds, what it is doing is writing the whole workshop. So it saves a lot of time for us. So, and I will go up at the very top to see that. So if you look at it, close the sidebar, workshop headline, networking in the field of construction and building. Duration 45 minutes. Audience, BSc Construction Management with students for widening participation. Workshop objectives, workshop agenda. So there you go. Introduction, even gives you time divisions. So 5 minutes for this. Importance of networking in construction. Strategies of effective networking. LMI, crafting your elevator pitch, and Q&A. And some activity worksheets as well in there. This is no way perfect. We know that as careers professionals, but we only fed it how many lines? Like 7, 8 lines, right? So if it has a lot more context, a lot more detail of what we really want in the workshop, which humans are really great at. Humans are great in writing notes and doodling and coming up with ideas. So if we fed a lot of ideas, made it highly specific, it'll be much better and amazing. But still, how quick that is. So you don't have to worry about templates. You don't have to worry about formatting. Half the time, I identify, I don't know, identify, but I have ADHD. So I'm that kind of a person. I procrastinate all the time. Like, yeah, I need all things ready, and then I'll do these things. But I never get to start those things because I have amazing ideas. I'll scroll down for sure. And that's the activity if you want to see the activity. Networking challenge. You could ask it to make, if it was in person, you could ask it to make an MS Doc template, a checklist, a game, or anything. I'll do some games later on. But this is a great starting point. Now I don't have to start from zero. Imagine you have 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 20 minutes to present the proposal to somebody for a workshop, how quickly you can do that. And this is that tool to help you do that. And you could do, and the best part is, you can ask it to write your slides for you. So you'll be like, ChatGPT, can you, on the basis of this outline, give me the slide division? So let's do that. Can you please give me a slide deck division of this outline? So it will tell you what to go on slide number 1, slide number 2. So easy, right? You could go even to the extent of help, basically asking it to write your script. How would you explain that slide? You can do that. And then I wish I had time. I could have shown you that you could even ask it to write that script in your tone, the way you talk. So if I talk in a very fun and comic way, in a very informal way, I will write 1 slide's worth of script. I'll be like, this is how I would maybe say hello or start this. It would extract your persona. I usually call it writing persona or presenting persona. It can then write the script for you. And then my favorite part, it can help you write those cue cards. You know what cue cards are? Prompt cards. You know, when you see those people on TV, reality TV, they have those cue cards, very little text, but they keep on changing the, cue cards, prompt cards. Such a professional way to present, right? But I'm not a cue card person. I just go with the flow, I just wing it. This no, I don't wing it. You can only, I always say this, you can wing it when you really know the topic. So that's why. So this is how you do this. I need to go back. So Julio, now we know where we are with this and some of the examples, what you can do with it. And now what I've done for you guys, and students can use it. For example, if somebody wants to write a LinkedIn headline, this is how they can use it. I'm a student, help me write a LinkedIn. This is the field I'm from. Maybe copy paste Danny's LinkedIn headline and paste it there and say, I want this person's style, and then give some assumptions and redirect. It will give you 5 or 10 different versions of the headline the student can use. So what I have done for you guys is that I have written mega prompts. So if you don't have the time to write and use the clear strategy, you just want something to like scan and play, plug and play, I have written mega prompts on a lot of things that we guys do. So I'm gonna share that with you. I call it hubs. It is this concept is similar to the concept of the GPTs, but for equity reasons, GPTs are self-running hubs for ChatGPT, but it's behind a paywall. So I don't want you to do that. I was way ahead even when before GPT came into play. GPTs came into play. So I've made these chat mega prompts for you guys. You guys can use it. I'll take an example. For example, a student comes to you and they're like, I want some help around LinkedIn. Or if you want to help your clients for LinkedIn optimization, let me do this. So what I've done is I've written a huge mega prompt. Look at that, how big that prompt is. So what you just do, you just copy paste it. You know what? I did it prior to GPTs. People were allowed to just continue my chat, but now, AI, OpenAI doesn't allow that because they want you to pay for that, but you still get access to it. The prompts still work. So you just copy paste this and get started with. Before this, there was a button called continue. Now they have removed that. What you do is you just copy paste and you just enter. The beauty of this is you don't have to ask it anything. It asks you the question, the very first question. Who should I think like? Who are you? Are you a student? Provide me with the information, a current sample. What do you want? Maybe a CV. Copy paste those things. Give it context. So you could do that. So you could live do it with a student, with a client, and just take their answers and fill it in, and it would give you the answer. So you don't have to give it the whole career strategy. I've done that for you. You could take this prompt, make it yours, change it the way you want to, customize it according to your needs. But these are some of the things that I've made for you on this ChatGPT hubs. There's so many hubs, games, and I'll do some examples later on. There's a presentation development hub, authentic assessment maker, careers handbook maker, event planning one, one-to-one appointment one, CV and cover letter one, and similar structure. It would start to ask you questions rather than you telling it everything. And it would ask for everything. If it needs context, it will say, can I get some context? Who are you? It will do that for you. So I have done that. So you could use that. Perfect. I wish I had a billion hours for this. And this, you could use the mega prompts that I made for you, or you could use the clear strategy and maybe chain prompt it. Chain prompting is use the clear strategy in bits and pieces. So just use the C and L for now and see what comes up, and then. So you could use the whole clear thing in one go, or just use it in bits and pieces. Use some tones. You could have all these different tones, and please appreciate what AI does for you. Say, thank you, this is nice. If you do not like an answer, say that. It learns. ChatGPT is recently experimenting with memory. So now it has memory of all the whole account of yours. So it learns from what you say to it. Training data is different. Memory is different. It remembers what once happened and how you reacted to output. So just say that. And just say that, oh, I don't like this way of answering. Maybe do that. It would remember that. So please do that when you prompt. Careers staff use case. By now you've seen I must have used it in everything, and I mean everything. I do have this code of honor first that I do with students, with clients, and say, use AI, but please carefully proofread it. Check for citations. There's so many tools I can tell you about citations. And then please make sure you don't give any confidential data. or even if you do, it's in a safe environment. Coolio. So I've used it with so many of these students. These are student data, and then nearly 4,000 plus staff members and professionals around the world right now over the last 12, 14 months. I've used it for everything. One-to-one appointments, live appointments with your client, with your students, career workshops. We have seen a workshop that we've just written, right? Careers events and career strategy. So in a one-to-one scenario, CV cover letter, it follows the same clear strategy. CV cover letter help, interview preparation help, get interview questions. It can act like an interview simulator for you as well. And it can do that for you. And the best part is all these apps now have phone apps. I mean, chatbot have phone apps. So MS Copilot has a phone app. ChatGPT has a phone app. It allows audio there. So I've seen a lot of students and even clients use the audio function to just have interview preparation on the go, and it has happened. And LinkedIn optimization, we have seen action plans for students. If you are that proper qualified careers consultant who follows a real action plan pathway with their clients, you can use that. I'm not a qualified one, but it's fine. But you can use that action plan thing with them. Say, these are your actions. This is what we discussed. That decontracting piece of career stuff that a lot of people do. I'm like, go with the flow, kind of a careers person. So, but action plan, there's a template for you guys. I'll give that to you guys. So lovely. And then we have done some career workshops as well. Career game. You could take any not boring, but dull theory of careers and turn it into a game. So let's see an example of that. Let's see an example of a game that I made. So let's go here and for example, a lot of you might know the theory called RISEC career choice theory. If you know that, can you please tell me in the chat if you know RISEC? So RISEC career choice theory, if I'm pronouncing it right, RISEC. Yep, lovely. I know you guys are much more learned than me. I have turned RISEC into a game. Who needs that boring worksheet that a lot of people use for RISEC? So I've turned RISEC into a zombie apocalypse game. Again, you copy paste the whole thing. You can run this game online, live in a workshop, live in the room. Give this prompt to students. They can use it on their platform, their thing. So copy paste this, the game starts. It asks you the first question. Are you ready to play the zombie apocalypse game? I'm like, students are like, yes. And then it gives you the first scenario. Your team finds an abandoned car. It's a potentially faster mode of transportation, but it needs some repair work. Here are your options. The 6 types, and they keep on. And I've trained it to keep on shuffling the options. Students like, let's select any option, right? Students, all they need to do is think and select one option. So I'll do that. After every selection of an option, it gives them a feedback of that option. That is one-to-one feedback at scale. Look at that. I wish in a workshop setting, I could give feedback to every single student on every option they select. This can help you. The feedback is this option shows a proactive approach to problem solving. The student feels so nice. Wow, I have these skills. I didn't know that. But there you go. And then scenario number 2, I'll just select the whole thing and see how it gives them the RISEC type. I'm just selecting random options. So there are 5 scenarios and number 5 for this one. Enter. So now it gives them the prevalent type they are on. So the prevalent type is, where are we? Yes, social. Oh, that's me. So your dominant personality type is social, and this suggests that you're inclined towards social interactions and teamwork. Now look at that. This stays with the student. They can then chat with it and say, if I'm social, tell me which of these scenarios I can go into, which occupation should I go into? There you go, diplomat, mediator. They can just then have chat. Social worker, I like the sound of that. What are the fields within social work? What degree is required? What should I do to become a social worker? There you go. This remains with them. One-to-one feedback at scale. So you could make any theory, anything into a game. Use this prompt to maybe experiment with other theories. You can turn it into any shape of a game. So this is how you use it. So and we are nearing the end, obviously. So you write workshop plans, career games, subject plans. I don't know how many of you are from universities, higher educations, but subject plans. My manager used to ask me, Danny, can you write me a faculty plan, how you would do embed careers and employability? I'm like, oh man, I'm a person of action. Why do you ask me to write these boring documents? But now, and after AI was like, hello, manager, how many do you want? I can give you 5 different versions of one faculty plan because AI can help us do that. There's a faculty plan prompt I've added as well. Um, grant applications. Grant applications are for just 2 grand of Australian dollars or American dollars. They ask us to write 2,000 words. 2,000 words for 2,000 pounds of grant. I'm like, no way. I don't have the time to do that. So I wrote grant applications. I got those grants as well, writing it with AI. Can you imagine? So I wrote, yes, 700 words. Humans are good. Humans are great. I can tell you in 700 words what I'll do with this $2,000 or pounds. I cannot write 2,500 words. And in all these different sections, repeating myself every single time. Though some of these forms are so horribly written, but it's fine if they want us to do that. We'll beat them at their game. What I did was wrote 700 words of what I wanted to do and say, hello, ChatGPT, this is what they want me to do. Please take my ideas and everything, fill it in these sections. Ta-da! And I got the grant as well. Mini careers handbooks as well. So, which a lot of people start, but they never finish. And that's me. If I'm talking about myself, I've worked in career services. They say, Danny, can we make a psychology careers handbook? Yeah, I always start those things with academics. 10 months down the lane, oh, we have written 2 pages of it. So it can help you write those things very, very quickly. And event planning, I don't know how many of you do events, but it can do event planning, event branding, logos, and all those things as well. And if you still think it gives you very basic answers, custom instructions. I leave this big thing for you guys. I've given you a cheat sheet as to what you could put in those custom instructions in ChatGPT over here. Very, very quickly, I'll show you. So on the sidebar, click the name, say customize ChatGPT. Under customize ChatGPT, which is available for the free version, in the first question, how it should basically, what would you like ChatGPT to know about you? Give it your profession, current roles, ethics, values, background, language, anything. I've given you a billion ideas. I've removed mine for the sake of this, but I've kept the headings there. And how would you like ChatGPT to respond? If you are that bullet points person, are you that bullet point person? You're like, I don't like paragraphs. I'm like bullet point person. You could inform that every damn output that you give, it needs to be bullet points. Otherwise, I'm gonna unsubscribe. So I mean, you could do that. So, and then bias checks. Danny, I come from an EDI background. I need to make sure my output is, bias free, so you could do that as well. And I have language preferences, problem solving approach. If you like this thinking, systems thinking, designs thinking, all that kinds of shenanigans around thinking, we did that. And then this is account wide. So it would know in your account to respond in this way. So I will leave these things. You'll get the slides anyway, and I'll leave these lovely prompts with you guys to use. That's why ChatGPT is still one of the best ones out there. Student use case, LinkedIn scraping. I've told you that you could do that on the Edge browser here on the sides. If I just open up, let me just do that, Danny. So go to LinkedIn, just open any LinkedIn up. And so this sidebar on the side is Danny. Can I find Danny here? And myself. This is my profile. Oh, am I marketing my profile? I love my profile. Hopefully you like it too. So that's my branded profile. So if that's me, you could say, can you please summarize the page? Hopefully this works because I am using the enterprise version. Then it would give you something what it's looking at. So you could summarize the page. Yes, Jennifer, a whole several roles position. Lovely. And then you could go down, you can open up my post. For example, if I'm one of the interview panels for you guys, you can go and open up my post and say what this guy likes to post about, what hashtag this person use. So you could just make a report out of that and use that against me in the panel. I mean, use that to help you self-answer or relate to me a bit better in the interview panel. So Fajja, my lovely student, did that. LinkedIn scraping element as well. So can be done very, very easily. And it can only see things that human eye can see. So no, this is not LinkedIn espionage in any shape or form. So that person should be your connection. Only then it can do that. Student can use it like an interview simulator. I won't go down into making it because it takes some time, but student can just use that. We pay thousands of pounds and dollars to use these platforms at times, these interview simulators, which don't even have AI in the background. It reviews the answers on a set criteria, not generative AI. So that's why people use these other tools nowadays. Students love it. 9.7 net promoter score. A lot of that has to do with the way I present. Obviously, they like me talking about ChatGPT, but students still like it. Job applications much quicker, 91%. They love the workshops now, 95%. They feel more prepared. Career control. And people with ADHD like me and Alina, now they can beat any system and write lengthy forms and applications. Faja, who has caring responsibilities, can, there you go, do a lot more of these applications very, very quickly. The future is filled with AI tools, with things like Teal. All of these things are links. You can just click them and do that. So maybe if there is demand for anything, I can come back for more sessions. But if you need any help, I do run a lot of sessions. Do get in touch with me. Perplexity is there. If you're like Danny, AI is so robotic. It's so robotic. I need something with EQ, emotional quotient, with emotional intelligence. Pi. Oh my God, just use Pi. You'll love it. It talks with emotional intelligence. And then you're like, Danny, I need an AI tool for something specific and niche. That website, there's an AI for that. That's the name of the website. Just go and write your problem there. A tool will come up. And ChatGPT, please be nice to ChatGPT and generative AI. You know what? This is just the return of the lovely Clippy, which is used to be there in MS Word at the very first iterations of it. But it is thug life mood of Clippy. And that's what I want to say. We have this message from the future, from you guys, from Danny.
Hello. I hope so you guys can hear me fine. I am Danny from the future. This workshop today is the start. This workshop today will change everything and would be the start of the new age of careers and employability. You know where I am today? I am at the International Space Station talking about careers in space with my students. So things are about to change for the best. Get ready and you are in great hands.
Thank you very much for this. And the reason I will get to go to space because I'll save a lot of time doing mundane and repetitive tasks that AI can help me with. And I can spend quality time in space with my students talking about how to have a career in space, And one of the last things, it's not here to replace us. It helps us with the commodity of execution. Humans, wheel, calculators, all these things were made to help us do our things quicker. So the ideation, the creator is still here, our minds, but it only helps us with the execution part. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Danny. Oh, look, what a whirlwind 1 hour. Your passion is infectious. I think what an amazing way to finish off our month. I think you can see probably from the comments and the emojis that are coming up on the screen now, people have been very, very impressed. We have 1 minute, so we're not going to be able to get to all the questions. You raised a couple of times in your presentation about, you know, being nice to ChatGPT. And Megan's asked that. She says, I know you're very polite using please and thank you. Is this beneficial?
Yes, it is. So recently a study came which talked about that it understands emotions. And there was an enhancement of 35% when you use these kind words, be nice to it, please. So it does understand emotion. There is a study which happened in America which talks about that. So yes.
Fantastic. And through your presentation, I think you spoke about your prompts. Is that something that you'll send to us that we will pass on, or was that the QR code they needed to scan?
I will send you these slides as well as the prompt sheet to you.
Okay, great. So that's perfect. So people that have got questions about slides and prompt sheets, Danny will get those to us. Our recording goes out on Friday morning, so Danny will get them to us before then, and you'll get a copy of those. Danny, look, on behalf of, you did get Seeker right, so congratulations. Most international people don't get Seeker right. They call it Chica or something else, so well done. On behalf of Seeker, thank you so much. As I said, what an amazing way to finish our month. Your passion is infectious. I think for our higher ed colleagues who joined us today, I think they will have definitely got something out of your own experiences coming from higher ed as well. I think, you know, the course of this month very much was about introducing people to AI. And I think as we've gone over the course of the 4 sessions, I think, you know, people have learned. And it was such an amazing way to finish off because really you did take it to the next level. For people who are just perhaps dipping their toe in or perhaps some of those more advanced, I think today you definitely showed that, AI can be our friend. We shouldn't be concerned about it, and we need to be able to use it effectively. So thank you for that. I will take you up on your offer. I think, maybe in the second half of the year, we might come back and run a workshop or something more targeted on a specific topic of yours that might be able to take people to the next level. So you and I'll stay in touch about that, definitely. So we'll definitely take you up on that. For everybody that joined us or everyone that's watching this recording, as I said at the outset, thank you so much. We have been blown away by the interest of this webinar series over the course of the month. As I said, we've had people from 55 countries join us. It is something that's dear to Seeker about being able to offer. We offer obviously paid webinars through the course of the year, but generally our themed months at the beginning of the year are always free for people to attend. We think that's part of our responsibility about giving back to our profession and upskilling the profession as well. So, it's something that we're very proud of as an organisation. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for your participation through the month. Thanks for your chats, obviously, contribution. Danny, again, thank you so much. Have a great day. And to our attendees, we look forward to seeing you at the next Seeker webinar. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Cheers. Thank you. Take care.